Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Isaac. I'm here at the West End Cultural Center, and this is the Tune-In program's sixth drumming lesson. So in the last lesson, what we did is we got a little bit of a refreshing change from the just normal hi-hats, snare drum, kick drum, classic rock that we've been doing. But we did keep with that same type of drum beat. We practice around switching from the snare drum and the high tom. We practice switching from the hi-hat, the ride, the floor tom, and we implemented the crash cymbal a little bit. So we got a chance to really experience our drum set. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to practice actually playing a couple different types of drum beats, right? We got to experience our drum set, but we're still playing. Right, up to this point, we've done that, which is the classic or the basic rock beats. And we've also done half the time, right, on the rhythm. Just quarter notes. Those are the two beats that we've really been working on. So it's time to actually try some other stuff out. You've gotten to the point where you're better at playing, you can keep in tempo, you're better at synchronizing all your hits, you know a bit more your way around. So let's try to have some fun. Let's play some other drum beats that we're not used to playing. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is 16th notes. So when I've said and I've described those differences as playing quarter notes and eighth notes on the hi-hat, which is where the change is, right? Quarter notes, eighth notes. You can kind of tell it's eighth notes, so it's an even greater fraction, twice the fraction, which means you play them twice as fast. So a 16th note will, of course, do the exact same thing. So essentially, if these little eighth notes are the in-between, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're going to have even a smaller in-between, between the first beat and the and. Those little mini intervals, playing that fast, that is a 16th note. Okay? So to give you an idea of this, if we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and those are 16th notes. Looks a little bit scary, right? It's fast playing, and it is, but it's a good thing to practice, and it's also helpful to know these 16th notes, which for other drum beats, which I will show you. So let's just start off on the hi-hat here. When playing 16th notes, there are generally two good options. At slower tempos, which is what we're going to start off with, you can play with one hand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, there's not a really great way to dictate because it's so fast, the 16th notes. But essentially, the 16th would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. See? It's fast, but at a slow tempo, you can play. So again, it's just an interval. If you're playing an eighth note at this speed, well, if you speed it up twice as fast, and if you speed up twice as fast, now you don't have your eighth notes are going to be way faster. But you could slow down to say quarter notes and it would be the same groove. It was twice as fast. What you were playing as eighth notes are now quarter notes. So really, when it comes to 16th notes, it's not going to have to force something completely new upon you. If it's difficult, all you have to do is slow down to the point that it feels the same as if you were just playing eighth notes. And then you just have to get used to playing way more than just one in between, right? If that's too fast for you, you can just slow it down even more. Very slow tempo, right? 1, 2. It's very, very slow tempo, but it is 16th notes, and it won't feel terrible for you to do it that way. So just slow it down, and really you want to see how fast you can go. Let's go really slow, though, okay? Let's go with me. We're going to practice this. We're going to go on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of fast. Maybe you want to slow it down a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a hard thing to do, I know, and that's why we have the other way to do 16th notes, and that's using both of your hands. But before we get to that part, let's just to practice a little bit. This is a bit of a less common way to do it with one hand, but at a slow tempo, these are 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Sounds fast, but if you really space out the 1, 2, 3, 4, you realize how big of a gap that is. So let's add in this kick and this snare, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So to give you a better idea, that is what it will sound like. It's a bit hard, so that's why I'm just giving some demonstrations at first so you can get into the feel. But now let's really play this together. Let's go for 8 measures, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So again, that you have to play at a slower tempo if you want to just use one hand. But say you're playing with a band and you don't have a choice. You're going to have to raise the tempo for some songs, and they want 16th notes. You know, you want that almost disco-y sort of style. And that's when you use 2 hands, because you can't play. You know, that's just impossible. You can't use your wrist that much. So let's give it a go. We're going to go 8 measures, 2 arms, just on the hi-hat to give you guys a feel of it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it seems a little bit more complex than playing with one hand. And it is. It's something new. It's something you have to get used to. But again, playing on one hand at high tempos is more difficult because you just can't get one arm to do the same thing. Okay? So now how about we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add in this kick and the snare. Same classic rock beat, kick on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, okay? So for 8 measures, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so one thing that's really worth noting, and many of you will have noticed, as we play this, we're hitting the snare drum, but we're hitting it with our right hand. That is something I, in past lessons, said do not do, and I do stand by that. But you see the difference is when we played with our left hand, the left hand was specifically meant for the snare drum. See? this left hand isn't hitting this this hi-hat at all. It's not keeping the rhythm. It's just another pattern to add in. So when we're playing with two hands, we are using it on the hi-hat though. So you don't have this need to save it for the snare drum. And you'll notice if you're playing it and you're playing it on beat, right, you can mess up and this will change, but the place where the snare drum will land, that'll sound right on the beat, right? You don't want to go, it's natural for your right hand to do it. So that's why you use your right hand in this context, because you would never go, that's ridiculous. There's no need to. There's no reason at all unless you're doing something else. You know, unless you're getting to much more complicated territory at that point. So let's go just for 4 measures this time. Let's go again. Let's just see this. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those two, they're both crucial. Please keep practicing. I want you to do one hand and two hands. You're going to want to use them in different scenarios throughout your drumming career. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to try adapting to switching to the 16th notes, right? In the past, we've done exercises where we switch from quarter notes to eighth notes. And we're going to keep doing that, but we're going to instead add in the 16th notes right at the end, okay? So 4 measures at a time. We're going to go all on the hi-hat, quarter notes on the hi-hat, to eighth notes on the hi-hat, 4 measures, to eighth notes on 16th notes on the hi-hat, okay? So go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. So it's a good way to just adapt to, you know, playing quarter notes to eighth notes, then to 16th notes. You noticed I played with 2 arms. That was my choice. I wanted you to play along. You can go back and through the video and repeat it if you want. Try out both 1 arm and 2 arm. Again, you should try them both out. Play along. It's incredibly important. But one thing we can do with these 16th notes is they don't have to be so rapid, but we can actually add them in to create another type of beat. And this is the second drum beat that I'm going to show you. It is called the shuffle blues beat. Okay? So it's called a shuffle because it gives this almost more shuffly feeling than just the straightforward of the classic rock beat. This is the classic rock beat. But the blues shuffle, primarily used for blues music, which is why blues is in the title, it gives this more shuffle feeling. Just listen to me play it, and you guys can think for yourself. Try to see if you can hear that difference. I think you will. Okay, so that is the blues shuffle. You can hear the difference. It's not even, the hi-hat hits aren't evenly spread out like the classic rock beat. Before every beat, every quarter note with the either the kick drum or the snare drum here, you have this little extra fast one, you know? Sounds like that. And that's a bit confusing. You're playing this, almost the 8th note that you would have played is being played a little bit later. So right before you hit that beat. And the reason it's played right before is because it is actually the very last 16th note before you'll hit that next beat. Think about it. 1, that last, before you hit there, that beat, this one where I rest, that is the beat that we're hitting when we play the blues shuffle. So it's like the classic rock beat, except we actually wait an extra 16th note more long of a break between. Right, so that's what it is. The feel, you can get the feel without understanding how it works, but it is a 16th note that makes that drum beat happen, and so that's why it's good to know the 16th notes before. Okay, so let's just try on the hi-hats. Let's play this a little bit. 8 measures, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is essentially the only difference, right? We're still playing the same kick drum, snare part, but now we're adding in, instead of. It's a bit of a confusing transition for a lot of people. We're used to playing in this, right? Even if you've been practicing on these 16th notes that I just taught, it's different, but it feels just constant because there's the same period between each time you hit the hi-hat. You keep the rhythm. And when you play the blues shuffle, that's not the case, right? You have longer, and then you have the shorter one. Shorter intervals, longer intervals, you're constantly changing. So it's just good to get into the feel. Let's play like we did, but now let's add in the kick drum and the snare drum parts. Okay, we're going to go for 8 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so if you've ever listened to the blues, you know it goes kind of like dun 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 dun. So that's why you play that. It's the drums are supposed to mimic the feel of the song. You want the drums. The job is the percussion feels out how the song is supposed to sound. You can have notes and melodies, but this is really the backbone to get to feel the groove, right? And so that's why the drums will follow along with what the other instruments are doing. Notably, other rhythm instruments like the bass guitar, they'll always follow the bass guitar part. If the bass is going boom, 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 you're going. Right, so that's why we do that. So now let's go back to the same exercise we did with the 16th notes. We did quarter notes for 4 measures. We switched to 8th notes for 4 measures. Then we switched to 16th notes for another 4 measures. What we're going to do is add in a final 4 measures after those 16th notes, switching to the blues shuffle. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet, so that's it. That's when you add it together. It's a bit of a weird transition, right? It's super weird feeling. It's a weirder transition than transitioning from the 8th notes to 16th notes, because at least you feel that same sense of rhythm. It's twice as fast, but you can easily, you know, feel it in dun, 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 dun. You know, it makes sense. Now you're transitioning to this, where you have these uneven breaks. And so that's why I recommend when you're playing the blues shuffle to add it into those types of exercises, because it's good to know. It's a weird transition. You're used to, but if you're having trouble, you know, actually hearing the difference, playing the difference yourself between this and, that means the idea of them are just kind of blending together. So that's why I have you do this exercise, so you can switch. Really get the feeling, feel how it is different. Okay, so that is the blues shuffle. We've learned 16th notes and the blues shuffle, which applies to 16th notes, which is great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to practice playing in 3/4. We practiced playing 16th notes and we practiced doing the blues shuffle. But now let's start playing in this different time signature. Now again, I explained this before in a previous lesson where we've been playing in 4/4 time signature. That means there are 4 quarter notes in each measure, right? The first 4 means how many notes there are in the measure. The second 4 means what type they are. So 4 quarter notes in a measure. In 3/4, it's the exact same principle. That means it would be 3 quarter notes in a measure, and that's true. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, what we'll essentially be doing is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a weird time. I know we've only played in 4/4 up to this point. We've tried many different beats, we've tried different techniques, but it's always been 4/4. This is our first time doing this. So just to give you guys an idea, right? If we play 1, 2, 3, 4 like 4/4 time signature on the hi-hat, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're now just going to be going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, let's practice a little bit. 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we're going into 3/4, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I know it's a confusing concept, but it's very important because this is actually a time signature that's quite common, right? Most songs you hear are played in 4/4, but I think a lot of kids would be surprised how many songs are actually played in 3/4. There are tons, and if you're going to keep playing the drums and you're going to start playing with people, you're going to need to learn how to play in other time signatures, and 3/4 is pretty much the first one anyone will learn, no matter what instrument you play, after 4/4. Okay, so let's keep playing this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What we're gonna do with 3/4 is we're gonna play the quarter notes with as the rhythm. So say we're playing on this hi-hat here. Let's just play these quarter notes as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The way we're gonna space out our kick beats and our snare beats here is we're gonna play this kick beat on the start of the first measure, and the very next measure it would be the snare jump played at the start instead of the kick. And it would just continue on like that, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you can really kind of hear that waltz style, you know? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now let's practice that, okay? Let's add in this kick drum and let's add in this snare drum part. Let's start with the kick drum just at first, just to give you guys an idea. If you go 1, 2, 3, then the next measure, just 1, 2, 3, then again 1, 2, 3, right? So there's a 6-quarter note difference between each snare drum beat that you hit and each kick drum beat that you hit from each other, right? So let's hear this out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right? The exact same principle goes for the snare drum. If we were to say, of course, we'd start it with the kick drum, so we're not going to play this snare drum beat until the second measure. But let's take out this kick drum and let's just see how that would sound, just to give you an idea, right? It would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So let's put it together, okay? So this is going to be the 3/4 drum beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's great, everyone. Let's take a little break. We're going to go again. We're going to play it just a little bit faster this time, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's essentially 3/4, right? It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You guys are totally free to experiment with that time signature, come up with some drum beats. Just remember 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If your beats are falling off, if they're just falling off course, and you're, say like playing 1, 2, 3, and then you think, oh no, I missed just a 1, 2, 3. I know it's hard. Keep practicing them. If you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, that's not 3/4. You will mess up, and so I need you guys to keep practicing this over and over again, okay? And a good way to practice this is because, of course, it's so confusing also because we're so used to 4/4. We're used to playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we want to switch to just 3 instead of 4 in a measure. So it is confusing, so a good way to practice doing this is actually an exercise of switching from 4/4 to 3/4, right? So that's essentially when we're hitting, remember, when we're playing in 4/4, our kick drum and our snare drum, those are our quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This 3/4 beat that I've taught you, I'm telling you that we're going to play those quarter note parts as the rhythm. So say we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So those 1, 2, 3 have to be the exact same distance between your kicks and your snare because we're keeping the same tempo. We're switching the time signature, but we're keeping the same tempo. So whatever you're playing, the distance between these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, those are now your 3/4 quarter notes, right? So exact same distance, but now you're just playing the rhythm with it. Okay, so let's give this a go, just to see what I mean. We're going to switch from 4/4 to 3/4. It's going to sound something like this. 4 and 1. Right. It might feel a bit confusing to you guys, but really, if you think about it, right? If your eighth notes are being played on the hi-hat in 4/4, you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, eighth notes still apply in 3/4. It's just a halfway in between. So if you guys are getting lost and you're thinking, okay, well, I have to switch from the kick drum to the snare drum to now doing that same gap on just the rhythm, right? Whether it's the ride or the hi-hat or anywhere you want it to be, right? Even here, then you're going to be thinking, that's really confusing. You can use the memory from this 4/4, right? 1 and, that and will still be there. So if you're going 1 and 2 and now you're going over to here, you want to go 1 and 2 and. So you can think of the invisible and that you're not going to play, and that will help you to find that gap when you're switching over. Okay? So let's go through it a bit. Let's play 4/4 for a little bit, and then we're going to switch over into 3/4. Okay, to make it more obvious to you guys of when I'm switching to 4/4 to 3/4, just to give you guys a better understanding of the feel, to truly know when we are playing in each different time signature, I'm going to be playing 4/4 over here with this hi-hat, and then 3/4, I'm going to use the ride cymbal, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I want you guys to, of course, I want you to take time to play just 3/4 so that you can practice that, but it's really important to know to get the feeling of the difference between 3/4 and 4/4. And so that's why I'm introducing this exercise where we switch from 4/4 to 3/4. So I'm going to ask you guys to keep practicing that. Right? I want you guys to also keep practicing the shuffle beat that we learned. I want you guys to keep practicing the 16th notes. And yeah, that's pretty much, and I want you guys to remember that when you're playing this 3/4, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That you can technically switch to those other beats, those 16th notes, that shuffle beat. Experiment, switch around, get to know the feeling of switching between them, because there will be songs where you'll actually have to do that in the song itself. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I will see you all in the next video. If you have any more questions, I want you guys to come down to the West End Cultural Center to go see the tune-in programs. It's on 4 to 6 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. Again, I will see you all in the next video.